Artemis missions are moving fast, but one shocking problem could stop astronauts from landing on the moon. Blue Origin launched again, Voyager is slowly dying, and scientists just found 11,000 new asteroids. The future of space exploration is changing fast. And this week brought some surprising news. Imagine spending billions of dollars building giant moon rockets only to discover that the astronaut might not even have working space suits in time. And that's exactly the surprising problem NASA could now face with the Artemis Moon program. At the same time, Blue Origin launched New Glenn again, but the mission didn't fully go as planned. Voyager 1 had to shut down another instrument after almost 50 years in space, and the Vera Rubin Observatory is discovering thousands of new asteroids at an unbelievable speed. Today, we are breaking down the biggest space news stories of the week. And trust me, some of these updates are absolutely incredible. Let's begin. Artemis program facing a new problem. The Artemis program is supposed to return humans to the moon for the first time since Apollo. NASA's long-term plan includes astronaut landing on the lunar surface, building moon infrastructure, and preparing for future missions to Mars. Right now, Artemis 2 is expected to send astronauts around the moon. After that, future Artemis missions will focus on moon landing and orbital docking operations. But there is a growing issue that could delay everything once again. And surprisingly, it's not the rocket, it's the space suits. NASA recently released an audit about the development of its next generation lunar space suits. Back in 2022, NASA awarded contract to two major companies, Collins Aerospace and Axiom Space. Collins Aerospace was working on space suits for the International Space Station, while Axiom Space was developing the moon landing suits for Artemis astronauts. Axiom Space attracted attention because they partnered with famous brands like Prada and Oakley to help design advanced lunar suits. And honestly, the suits actually look futuristic and impressive. But there is a problem. Collins Aerospace eventually dropped out after falling behind schedule. And according to NASA's latest audit, the moon suits might not be fully ready until 2031. That is a huge concern because NASA currently hopes to land astronauts on the moon around 2028. Now, not everyone agrees with the delay prediction. Axiom Space says testing is going on with more than 900 hours of testing already completed. Some officials believe the suit will absolutely be ready in time. But this story reminds us how incredibly complicated modern space missions are. People usually focus on rockets, but a moon mission depends on thousands of smaller systems working perfectly together, like life support, navigation, docking system, communication, radiation protection, and yes, even the suits. Sometimes the smallest piece becomes the biggest challenge. And right now the Artemis Moon mission may depend on whether those suits are ready in time. China is rapidly catching up. While NASA and SpaceX continue preparing for moon missions, China is moving extremely fast. China is developing reusable rockets and advanced moon landing systems at an impressive pace. Recently, Chinese engineers completed a major propulsion module for the upcoming Long March 10 rocket. This rocket will eventually carry the Mengzhou crew spacecraft, the Linear lunar lander. The plan is for both spacecraft to launch separately, meet near the moon, dock together, and then send Chinese astronauts called taikonauts down to the lunar surface. Sound familiar? It's a very similar to NASA Artemis mission architecture. But what is really surprising is how quickly China is progressing. Reports say this major rocket component went from proposal to completed hardware in only about 7 months. That's incredibly fast for aerospace development. China is also testing reusable rocket technology similar to SpaceX. Last year, one Chinese reusable rocket exploded during landing tests. But more recent tests showed controlled soft landing into the ocean, providing they are learning quickly. China is even experimenting with unusual booster catching systems using cable and nets. SpaceX once considered similar ideas before choosing the giant chopstick tower catch system for Starship. The global moon race is clearly heating up, and over the next few years, competition between NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and China could completely reshape the future of space exploration. Blue Origin's new Glenn flies again. Speaking of reusable rockets, Blue Origin recently launched its new Glenn rocket for the third time, and overall the launch looked successfully at first. The company reused a booster from a previous mission, showing that rapid rocket reuse is becoming normal outside of SpaceX too. That's actually a very important milestone. The booster separated successfully and landed safely again. But then came the bad news. The upper stage failed to place its communication satellite into the correct orbit. The satellite belonged to AST Space Mobile and was designed to provide direct satellite communication services using gigantic space antennas. Unfortunately, the satellite ended up too low in orbit to properly operate. That means the mission failed for the customer payload. The satellite will likely need to be deorbited. Still, there is one major positive here. Blue Origin proved it can rapidly reuse rocket boosters very early in the New Glenn program. That's something that took SpaceX years to perfect. Reusable rockets are quickly becoming the future standard for space flight. And competition in the commercial space industry is getting intense. Now Voyager 1 is slowly shutting down. Now let's talk about one of the most emotional stories in space exploration. Voyager 1. The spacecraft launched in 1977. That means it has been traveling through space for nearly 50 years. Right now, Voyager 1 is almost a full light day away from Earth. Signals take more than 23 hours to reach it, and another 23 hours for the response to come back. That is absolutely mind-blowing. But Voyager is slowly running out of power. Its radioisotopes power system uses decaying plutonium to generate electricity. Every year, the spacecraft loses a little more power. NASA recently shut down another science instrument called the Low Energy Charged Particle Experiment. The instrument helps scientists study cosmic rays and how our solar system interacts with interstellar space. Now Voyager 1 only has two major science instruments still operating. NASA engineers are trying one final major power-saving upgrade called the Big Bang. The idea is to switch the spacecraft into lower energy operating system to keep it alive longer. But eventually one day Voyager will go silent forever. And honestly, that will be one of the saddest moments in space history. Because Voyager is not just a spacecraft anymore. It's a humanity's most distant messenger. Now, Vera Rubin is becoming a discovery machine. Now some exciting news. The Vera Rubin Observatory is already transforming astronomy. In only about 6 weeks of observations, scientists say the observatory has discovered 11,000 new asteroids, 33 new near-Earth objects, hundreds of distant outer solar system objects. That is unbelievable. And this is only the beginning. Every single night, Vera Rubin detects around 700,000 changing objects in the sky. Supernovas, asteroids, comets, variable stars, everything. This telescope is basically becoming an automated cosmic discovery machine, and one of the most important goals is finding potentially dangerous near-Earth asteroids. Knowing where these objects are could someday help protect Earth from future impacts. Scientists are also using Vera Rubin to search for extremely distant objects that could help reveal the mysterious planet 9. The observatory has not even reached full science operation yet. So imagine what the next few years could bring. Sign of life on Mars. Meanwhile, NASA's Curiosity rover made another fascinating discovery on Mars. Scientists found 21 organic compounds inside ancient Martian rocks, and 7 of those compounds had never been seen on Mars before. Some of the molecules may be related to the building blocks of life, including chemicals connected to DNA, RNA formation. Now, this does not mean scientists found alien life. Organic molecules can form naturally through geological process too. But this discovery is still very important. Why? Because it shows these molecules survive on the harsh Martian surface for billions of years despite radiation exposure. That means ancient evidence of life, if it ever existed, might still be detectable today. Future Mars missions could finally answer one of humanity's biggest questions: was Mars ever alive? Nancy Grace Roman telescope ahead of schedule. And finally, some rare good news for NASA. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is actually ahead of schedule and under budget, which honestly feels almost impossible these days. The telescope uses a mirror similar in size to Hubble's, but with a much wider field of view. It will help scientists study dark matter, dark energy, exoplanets, the large scale structure of the universe. And instead of launching in 2027, NASA may now launch it in late 2026 aboard a Falcon Heavy rocket. That is exciting because the woman could become one of the most important space telescopes ever built. So in conclusion, this week in space gave us everything. Artemis space suits concerned, China rapidly advancing moon technology, Blue Origin mixed New Glenn mission, Voyager slowly shutting down, thousands of new asteroids discovered, and new clues about possible ancient life on Mars. Space exploration is moving faster than ever before, and the Artemis Moon mission remains one of the most important goals for the future of humanity. But as we learned today, even something as simple as a spacesuit can change the timeline of history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for more weekly space updates explained. And tell me in the comment which story shocked you the most this week. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.